"Sir, this event is strictly invitation only, and I must ask you to leave." The security guard's voice was firm, his command reverberating through the ornate hall as countless well-dressed guests turned to look. In the doorway stood an elderly man, frail and quiet, his posture bent, his coat tattered, and his shoes worn with dust and time. He seemed out of place in this room brimming with polished metals and pride. Whispers slithered through the aisles like tendrils. Who let him in? Is he lost? Probably a vagrant. A mother subtly drew her son back, her gaze narrowing at the stranger's shabby appearance. The old man remained unshaken. He reached into his coat with deliberate care, producing a small envelope with gold-trimmed edges. It bore no sender's address, only bold text: "You are cordially invited to the Armed Forces Youth Awards, honoring tomorrow's heroes." His trembling hands extended it, but the guard didn't spare it a glance. "I said this is for invited guests, not—" The pause was a sting in itself. "Not people like you." A teenager in the front row, his ROTC uniform crisp, snickered under his breath. Wise old hobo crashing a military gala. A few more laughs followed, eyes rolled, and a woman muttered, "Some folks just crave attention." The old man turned to leave, his steps slow and weighted, not by age but by something ancient, something profound. He hadn't wanted to come, not after all these years, but the envelope had drawn him here. Perhaps just this once they'd remembered him. Then a sharp voice sliced through the murmurs like a knife. "Wait." Every head whipped around. A young woman in crisp dress blue stepped forward from the podium, her eyes fixed on the old man's chest. Her lips parted, her stance shifted, because that's when she saw it. Not the coat, not the shoes, not the gray in his hair, but the small gleaming metal pinned above his heart. A star framed in blue, encircled by gold, the Medal of Honor. Gasps rippled through the crowd as they noticed, one by one. The whispers turned to stunned silence. A man murmured, "That can't be real." But it was, and the young officer on stage knew its weight. She descended, her boots striking the marble floor with purpose, approaching him with reverence. "Sir, what is your name?" His eyes, weary yet fierce, met hers. "William Hartley." No applause followed, no recognition yet, but her hands shook as she saluted. She knew the name. She'd studied him in late-night readings of obscure files and dusty military records. William Hartley, the soldier who carried 3 men from a burning ambush while bullets ripped through the jungle, who threw himself over a live grenade, the hero who never gave interviews, who vanished after the war, refusing to let his suffering define him. And now he stood here, alone, quiet, forgotten, at a ceremony meant to honor future heroes, nearly escorted out. She turned to the crowd, her voice trembling with anger. "Ladies and gentlemen, we were seconds from dishonoring one of our nation's greatest heroes. He didn't come for praise, but we owe him more than silence." The silence broke into applause. One by one the audience rose, even the ROTC boy, now standing, eyes lowered, face flushed with shame. The guard who'd tried to eject him stepped back, head bowed. Someone offered a chair in the front row, but the old man declined. He stood by the stage, back straight, as she returned to the podium. "Heroism isn't always loud," she said. "Sometimes it shuffles into a room in a decades-old coat. Sometimes it lingers in the back, hoping to go unnoticed. But today we see you." She turned again. "Mr. Hartley, would you do us the honor of presenting the final award?" His lips trembled, but he nodded slowly. As he stepped onto the stage, cameras didn't chase fame, they captured reverence. He placed the Youth Valor Award into the hands of a teenage cadet whose father had died in Iraq. Their hands met, and something passed between them, a torch, a truth, a legacy. The boy saluted, and this time William Hartley saluted back. When the ceremony ended, no one hurried out. Instead, they lined up to shake his hand, to hear his story, to thank him for sacrifices they'd never known they owed. A little girl tugged his sleeve. "I want to be brave like you." He smiled, his first true smile in years. "Sometimes heroes don't stand in the spotlight. Sometimes they carry their medals quietly through a world that's moved on. But when the light finds them even for a moment, the room changes forever. So never judge someone by the wear on their coat. You never know what kind of heart beats beneath it. If this story moved you, subscribe to the channel, hit that like button, and leave a comment below.